Hello, welcome to our talk show and podcast. My name is Mitch. This is my co-host Joe Martin.
Hello.
Today we have our
Hi,
beautiful
Mitch and Joe.
guest, Aurora. Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm fabulous, guys. Thanks for having me.
Very
Absolutely.
welcome.
Good to have you.
So if you could please introduce yourself.
So my name is Aurora Friedel. Friedel's my married name. I'm a psychic medium and a healer. I'm an empath as well. So I take it you guys are from Full Time Purpose, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I was very blessed to have stumbled across the free class that we took,
Mhm.
as well as the community page. It's certainly helped to broaden my networking as far as my spiritual practice goes. So, and I appreciate you having me for the interview as well. Thank you.
Welcome.
So when did your spiritual journey begin, or were you always kind of aware, or how did it start?
Well, as a child, I was my mother's Southern Baptist Christian. I didn't have people around me who understood my psychic abilities, so I didn't understand them either. Um, my clairvoyance and my clairaudience brought about experiences as a child that were um, very traumatic and horrific at times. So I'm not exactly sure when or what age that I kind of blocked out my gifts, but I did for a long time. And it wasn't until I think I was about 26, 27. It actually started the year that my kids came home from school, and of course, everybody was saying Santa Claus wasn't real. So I had to figure out a way to explain that without just blatantly saying, oh, no, he's not real. Um, so that kind of got me started on like a whole research frenzy, which led me to realize I didn't know my whole life. My father was a Nordic pagan. I didn't find that out until I was like 27. Um, and in doing a lot of research, coming across a lot of different cultural aspects of spirituality and religion and things like that. I've researched Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, different like subcategories of paganism, even Satanism, and it like everything just grabbed my interest, and I just wanted to learn as much as I could about all of it, and that's where I really started putting a lot of the underlying truth pieces together. Um, I was gifted my first tarot deck. It was a Secret Santa gift, actually, probably about 6 years ago now. And the person who gifted it to me, uh, she's a very toxic individual. So I'll just say I never really did get a feel for using the deck. The deck itself, it wasn't a very good beginner's deck anyway. So I really like it piqued my interest, but I never actually picked it up and threw myself into it. It wasn't until after my children destroyed that deck and I was gifted another one by a lady who used to babysit my kids. Um, and I fell in love with it. But again, I didn't have anyone around me who understood it, knew anything about it. It's still very taboo to a lot of people that were in my life. So again, I went on, I just threw myself into research to teach myself how to use tarot cards. And I actually, last summer, I ended up in Rose Hill, North Carolina, on a farm. And the lady who took me in for the summer, she was very much against it. It was a very taboo thing for her. She didn't want me using the cards around her 17-year-old daughter. She didn't want to have anything to do with it. Well, I ended up being contacted by a gentleman on Facebook one day, who noticed that I was Facebook friends with his son because we were both from Swansboro. And he reached out to me and he asked me about it. And I told him, I said, well, no, he's honestly, he's a lot younger than me. It's not someone I knew personally, which Facebook friends. I don't even think I've ever spoken to him. Come to find out, he had lost his son a week before. I was under the impression it might have been like a terminal illness or something that they were aware it was coming. but I didn't specifically ask him. However, I did offer to do a reading for him. And at the time I did the reading, it was, I mean, completely unintentional. Just the channeling happened, and his son's message came through so clearly. And then the cards were just kind of like a confirmation of the channeled message that I got. And when I relayed the message to him, and he responded back, he said, that's insane. He said, that's almost exactly the conversation my son and I had a week before we lost him. And he thanked me. He it was such a touching experience for me to realize that the ability I had could touch other people, and people all over the world. It didn't have to just be people I was in close contact with. So the lady I stayed with, I came to her and I showed her the conversation in my Facebook Messenger, and it just a complete flip switch for her, because I explained to her, I'm like, look, there's nothing demonic, there's nothing negative or low vibrational about what I do, and this is why I love doing what I do. And in that moment, she completely opened her mind up to it, which was great. And actually, kind of a funny story. The deck that I had, I left on her kitchen table. We had 13 dogs, and 13 horses as well, but 7 of the dogs were German Shepherds. One of them decided to get my cards off the table, 2 different decks, and he got the same card from each deck. It was the Chariot card, and that was the only card he chewed up. And she felt terrible. She did. So she ordered me a brand new Oracle deck, which I still use. It's the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and I love it. But that was, and also the area itself, being in Rose Hill, we were on ancient Native American territory. So there's a lot of spiritual and paranormal activity going on. And there was a few like crazy full moon nights out in the very back horse pasture where I come into contact with a lot of different spirits. And I actually started working with channeling different like the Greek goddess Hecate, and there was a couple others that I worked with. Now I'm focusing on channeled messages with the Archangels. But yeah, I guess I could pinpoint my experience in Rose Hill as being the major turning point, or like that kind of slingshot action into my my spiritual awakening.
That's awesome. So do you channel a variety of different beings at this point?
I do, and I don't claim to be an expert at any of it, because I really am just winging it on a daily basis, and I'm really just now coming to realize how strong my abilities are, and it's just all about intention. I'm noticing that if I set the intention to channel a specific entity or individual, even passed on loved ones. I just did a channel reading yesterday for a very good friend of mine. It was the first time I ever reached out to channel someone I had known personally that has passed on. And it went really well. It was a very touching experience for both of us.
So when you channel with them, do they channel through you, or are you getting the messages like in your head?
It's kind of it's so hard to explain, because it's not as if it's really just a claircognizance. It's not like clairaudient. I don't hear it. Sometimes my clairvoyance will kick in if I'm meditating and doing an archangel channeling or something like that. I can see they're not clear images. They're kind of like smoky outlines, colors, things like that. But as far as like the passed on loved ones, it's really just, it's not something I hear in my head. It's just something I know. And the cards have really just become like a clarification tool, because it makes it a little more authentic and more realistic for others, for me to articulate the message that I'm channeling, and then I can pull the cards to confirm it for them.
Cool.
Any other questions? I'm sorry, I kind of got this stopping point there.
Oh yeah.
Well, one question I would like to ask you is, do you feel happy doing some kind of sample in the video?
A sample video?
Yeah, like while you're here now, how do you feel about doing like a little message for anyone who's watching?
I mean, I can. Sure, certainly. All right, I guess here, actually, if you don't mind, I'll kind of get my stage going here, maybe. And this, so I guess I can give you guys like a little rundown of my process. I do always light a little bit of sage. I have some bells over here that I'll ring, and that's just to make sure that anything I'm channeling is of a high vibrational nature, and that there's no unwanted or inauthentic messages coming through. And actually, I had my friend ask me yesterday, she's like, so do I need to run out and get my own sage and do all this and that and another? Because we did it over a video chat. I told her, I was like, no, not at all. I'm like, look at this. This is all energy anyway. So, I mean, time and space between us doesn't matter. Everything I'm doing here right now works just as well for her on her end. And she was kind of astonished. And she did admit to me that she was rather skeptical at first when I first started doing this, but I've definitely made a believer out of her. So, generally, like I don't know if you guys happen to stop at my YouTube channel, which I haven't done as much work on as I would like to, but that or my Instagram.
Yeah.
I try to pull like a daily oracle for my collective, which I'll pull at least 1 or 2 oracle cards, and then most of the time I'll clarify some with the tarot. But I guess for anybody who happens to catch this video today, we'll see what kind of guidance or message Spirit might want to relay. And you'll see a lot of readers will just kind of pull off the top or the bottom of the deck. It's not really my style. I'll shuffle until flyers come out. I feel like it's a more authentic message that way. And sometimes the cards will fall out kind of funny, or a lot will come out at one time and I'll put them back. Trust and believe, if something that came out and I put back is meant to be part of the message, it will come back out. I freak a lot of people out doing that sometimes. They can't believe it. Okay. So we got 2 on that one. We've got the Jaguar, card number 28, and then the Hummingbird and Revert. I'll hold them both upright so that I can actually see the right way. Yeah. There we go.
I like those cards.
Okay. They're gorgeous. I love them. All right, and I'll read these right out of the book, and then I'll pull some tarot.
What's your Instagram and YouTube channel so people can find you there?
For both of them, I believe it should be the same. It's Alustrial D688.
Okay.
That's definitely my Instagram. Alustrial Tarot should be my YouTube, but I will double check that for you for sure.
Yeah, we'll post them in the comments or in the description as well, so people can find you.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, and I try to hold the cards up as I read so that people can. I know my camera doesn't do it justice. I'm sorry. The Jaguar is the protector of all life in the Amazon, and in times of fear, she brings courage and certainty. Jaguar is at the top of the food chain and never becomes prey. With great stealth, she can track her mark from a distance and not be seen or heard. She moves gracefully through the jungle, relishing the abundance of the rainforest, fearless and at ease. Jaguar knows the ways beyond death and is the master of the shadows, blending invisibly between light and dark, night and day. Jaguar calls you to explore beyond the walls that confine you, to go outside your normal routine, to push your limits and boundaries. She is delivering an invitation from your own future to investigate the unknown, to venture into the mystery and the dark places you have been reluctant to explore. Toss all caution to the wind. Know that your jaguar instinct will serve you well. Actually, I feel like that the card is absolutely speaking to me right now, because this is so far out of my comfort zone from anything I've ever done online, and I really do appreciate you guys for the opportunity. This is great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think that's kind of speaking to all of us in a lot of ways, because a lot of us are stepping out of our comfort zones and doing a lot of things that we're normally wouldn't be comfortable with. So it's great.
Absolutely. And that's been another, like, such a great part of this whole full-time purpose thing, that there's so many of us can connect on that level, and it really is helping all of us to kind of break out as a collective. It's great. Okay, so despite being so little, hummingbirds are great journeyers, migrating between North and Central or South America to feed from the summer nectar. This gentle creature can be fiercely territorial to protect its home. Hummingbird teaches us to be gentle to ourselves and protect our personal space. Hummingbird invites you to embark on your epic quest, bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts, head for the flowers, and learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. This mighty being comes to teach you stillness in motion and to trust your inner knowing that the sweetest nectar is assured. Failing to act when the moment is right can spoil your journey. If you feel your safety, comfort, or day-to-day survival are more important than saying yes to the invitation to explore the unknown, you will have to work much harder to achieve what is being offered to you freely now. Still your mind, even in the midst of your very hectic schedule, and heed the gentle voice that calls to you to test new wings. Yes, that is absolutely screaming at this very moment in time for me right now. I honestly, I was in the middle of doing up feed buckets for horses and tending to the python and the cats and dogs and everything. When I stopped for a moment, I completely lost track of time and wasn't even thinking about this interview. So yeah, I was so glad that you messaged me when you did, when I came back here and hopped on the laptop. And in that very moment, it's just that, like, deer in the headlights shock of fear, like, oh my God, this is happening right now, isn't it? And of course there was just, that, like, that old sense of hesitation, like, oh, do I really want to do this? And it's just like, well, screw it, you're here now, Aurora, you just go for it.
Just gotta jump in sometime. So how many animals do you have?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's 7 horses, 4 dogs, 5 cats, 4 of which are half bobcat. I think there's like 8 chickens left at this point. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I accidentally killed a rooster last week.
Oh, okay.
It was horrible. Yes, I've never killed anything in my life. It was a terrible experience. I really just meant to keep him from attacking me, and it was a whole fluke accident. Yeah. A black silky rooster at that. This impossible to replace golden rooster. So now I've got all of my old farm friends in Rose Hill on the hunt for one to come up at Tractor Supply.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. And then there's a ball python, and I think, oh no, there's a Catalina macaw as well. Her name is Gabby.
Does she talk?
She does. She's very vocal. She stays in my housemate's bedroom for now, and so we're working on getting her cage set up on the front porch so she can come outside and get some fresh air. But you'll hear her in there. She says, hello, hello, hello. Like, nobody's in here talking to me. She curses a lot too.
Oh,
all right. Pull a few tarot cards, see what message might resonate for us. And I don't know how from, oh, okay. So right off gate, we have the Ace of Wands. New beginnings, new inspiration. Sorry, I keep doing this backwards. A gift of like a breakthrough, or, new inspiration, new passionate ideas. definitely sticking with the theme we got going here.
Sure.
Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. This is like the Wounded Warrior card generally. So this is about like defending your position. I guess kind of what I just spoke about in regards to you know, that like initial fear of, oh, do I really want to do this? But having to stand strong for that final battle, you know, and just push through. All right, let's get one more. Okay, I've got a couple more. Hey, nice. All right. So we have the Hermit and the Magician, which as a Virgo, the Hermit is my zodiac card.
Me too.
And the Magician is Gemini and Virgo energy as well. So just like the Hummingbird card kind of talked about stillness, the Hermit is all about you know, the journey within, going within to find divine answers and also to realize our divine path. And that's where we find the tools and the manifestation power that lies within all of us. And that's where we realize how to create our own reality and to use our gifts in service. I guess I can pull another one. I don't know how much time we got left, guys.
We haven't got the countdown yet, so you're good.
Okay. And I do, like, I have a bad habit of, I'll say, oh, I'm just going to pull a few cards for y'all today. And as I start pulling messages, I'll just keep going. I have to stop myself.
Do you feel a pull to when you start going that you need to have more messages come out, or is it just you like doing it, or how does that work?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's just kind of like a habitual action. Like when I first started teaching myself and I first started utilizing my cards all the time, you never saw me without a deck of cards in my hand. Even if I wasn't doing readings, I was just constantly shuffling and working with them and getting a feel for them, and I guess kind of transferring my energy into them. And then there are times where I'll pull a message and it could be pretty short and sweet and simple, and then no more cards will come out. Like I'll shuffle and shuffle and shuffle and shuffle, and it's like, okay, guys, well, apparently that's the end of the message that Spirit has for you today. And then there's times where it really just depends on how the message is flowing. And if I keep shuffling and cards keep coming out, sometimes the message will keep going, and then there's other times where it'll just kind of keep reiterating itself, and that's when I'm like, okay, apparently, you know, Spirit's trying to drive home that this is what we're getting for the day. But I did just come out with the Star card, which could be wish fulfillment, but is mainly about healing and the balance that we find in the healing process, which also comes from finding that stillness and going within, realizing our own power and the tools that we have at our disposal. It's all very much like a cyclical process. All the aspects tie into one another. You know, it's not just any one step that initiates the next. It's kind of all needed in order for our journey to lead us where we're meant to go. All right, we have the Five of Wands. And so generally the Five of Wands is about inner conflict, or perhaps like unnecessary conflict or drama. And I think this is the one thing that holds so many of us back from really like embracing our gifts and putting ourselves out there. That whole fear of being seen, and being able to share what's unique about us. I mean, it really just, it's all in our own head. And I think that's the biggest obstacle in finding that stillness within ourselves, is training ourselves how to get out of our head, get out of that, you know, logical way of experiencing things and moving into that heart space. you know, that inner stillness where the spirit resides in all of us.
Right.
And all this right now is part of my like intuitive channeling. The very same cards could be laid out in a very similar spread, and have a completely different message come through. But I really do feel like this is absolutely speaking to our whole collective right now, and it's so refreshing and reassuring to know that I'm not alone in this.
Right.
You know, there's so many other people experiencing the same thing, and it's so great that we can all connect and reach out to help each other through this. Yes, I knew it was coming. The Two of Wands. Two of Wands is all about the path that takes us out of our comfort zone and leads us towards a growth and expansion. And it's also about making a choice. And that's just it. Making the choice to step towards that which scares us the most is what's going to grow us the most.
Oh, for once.
Right. I do feel like this might start kind of just coming back around and repeating itself at this point. I feel like this might be the gist of the message that for today.
Well, it seems like that's kind of been the whole message of the full-time purpose in a lot of ways too, is just everybody getting out and figuring out what they're here to do and going and doing it. So it's very cool that it's just like a reiterating.
Absolutely. Right. I know it does seem like it's starting to get a little repetitive at this point, but I guess, I mean, hey, that's how we make things habit, right? Repetition.
Yeah.
So it's all part of breaking those old habits and forcing ourselves to get into that repetition of doing things differently.
Yeah. So are you doing like daily readings on YouTube or anything like that?
I would like to say yes. However, farm life as it is very hectic. It's very chaotic around here at times. So it has been several days since I've posted a daily reading. I was getting into trying to do at least one reading every day. And then of course I get to periods where I end up skipping a couple days, either because I kind of have to energetically recharge, or you know, things just in a material and physical sense get really taxing. So, but now just having done this interview today, and now that I'm kind of like really in this energy and in the swing of it at the moment, more than likely I'll pull up my camera and hit the record button and do a fresh video as soon as we finish this.
Awesome. That's great. So are you doing readings for other people as well, like as a business, or is this just like a hobby that you do right now?
Well, no, I'm trying to turn this into my business. And the one I did yesterday, that was the first one I'd done in a while. But at the moment, it's unfortunately I'm not pulling in regular clients. I would like to be here very soon. I kind of need to be. It's not really an option anymore. Kind of been forced into having to focus on making this my work. So, but yes, I'm taking clients for personal readings at the moment. I don't have any like steady regulars yet, but it's definitely something to look forward to. So, and on my YouTube channel, I do offer all my contact information for anybody who'd like to reach out for a personal reading, or a channel message, things like that.
Perfect. And we could post it in the description if you'd like to.
Yes, that would be fabulous. Absolutely.
Or you can just send over whatever you want to post in there, and we'll put it in there for you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, honestly, like I don't know how to navigate any of this. I'm assuming I can text you guys the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's message.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. All right, yeah, I'll do that for sure. Any other questions?
Well, we've got about 5 to 6 minutes left with the Zoom call. I don't currently have any questions, but thank you for the wonderful reading. I found it very insightful. And lots
Absolutely,
of
thank you.
Was that 4 wands that?
Say again?
Was that 4 wand cards you pulled? Lots of action.
Okay, we had the 5 of Wands, we had the 2 of Wands. So this one was about the inner conflict sorry, I keep going backwards. The inner conflict, but the Two of Wands, that was about making choices to step out of our comfort zone and progress towards growth in a new future.
And then you got the Ace and the 9 too, right?
Yes, with the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Yes, those were the first two that came out.
Right. I was just thinking it's quite rare to get that amount of wands, in one spread.
A lot of fire energy. And especially with well, I had two more cards that came out too. The Ace of Pentacles and the Sun card. The Sun card is fire. That's Leo energy. And this is all about success and abundance. It's considered the happiest card in the tarot deck. But yeah, there's a lot of fire, a lot of passion, a lot of intuitive energy in this reading for sure, which is, of course, obviously something we're all being forced to tap into in order to, progress forwards and make our dreams a reality.
It's true. It's great. Great message today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Was there anything else you'd like to share?
No, I'm not going to start and go on another tangent.
No problem. Well, it was so good to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great. I'd love to do this again. And Mitchell, is it Mitch or Mitchell?
Mitch is good. Mitch is fine.
Mitch, okay. It was so awesome for you setting this up. It was great for you to reach out to me and actually schedule this interview. Again, I'm sorry I was late. But this is fabulous, man. You're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's my honor.
And I look forward to watching some more of your interviews.
Thank you. I really enjoyed having you on today. So thank you again. And thanks for your messages and taking the time out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. All right, and I will definitely be sure to text you that information.
Okay.
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, I guess we'll end the recording here. So thank you to everyone who's watching. And we hope you enjoyed the messages. And that's it. Bye for now.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.